Um, so, how would you describe the two shows that we went to this weekend? Out of like your, were they examples of other kinds of shows that you?
Yeah, I mean, the shows have been so, all of them have been so great in my opinion recently that, few kind of rise, go beyond or below the others. They're all good in their own way. The one on Friday, I think, was in Cleveland, Ohio, was just about as drunk as the shows as I've seen recently. I think it was, a bit of a homecoming for me, so people were really excited to, go out. It wasn't an unknown. A lot of cities I come there, people are expecting to have a good time, but they've never seen me live. Cleveland was a, well-rehearsed thing. They've seen me at parties before. Half the people come out knew me. So there wasn't any nervous energy like the other shows. This was simply, we're going to have a blast. Even if I would have went out there and put on anything, I'm sure it would have went down fairly well. But yeah, the show, for me, they're obviously a little stressful whenever they get that crazy and stuff gets broken and knocked out, because I know there's people there who just want to come out to hear the music. So for me, in my mind, good shows are whenever I actually play the computer well and make the transitions on time, and my computer doesn't get kicked out and everything sounds good. So in terms of that, that was a rough show, but the energy was amazing and I loved it. And I try not to disappoint people, but if people were coming out to just see some DJ spin records, that style of performance is not going to be like that. So I think if a show's going to get swallowed up in energy and things are going to get broken and people are going to knock the legs off my table, people are going to break my chords that I'm playing with at the moment, I think it's great. If the show can't be contained, I think it's very rock and roll. It's kind of what I go for. And I think it's, just the energy in that room was really wonderful, even though there were some technical difficulties. So I had a blast there. And especially after the point where the sound got kicked out, from that point on, I think a few people cleared, maybe, the less hardcore fans. And at that point, there was a little bit more space, and then security was a little tighter and sound was perfect. So I think from the second half on was great. It was kind of like we got rid of the people who, weren't going to be having the best time, and everyone who wanted to be there was there with room. So that was great. And then Columbus was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, because it's the first alcohol-free show I played in a while, so I thought people would be a little hesitant to dance. And it was in such a huge room. And security, I thought they were going to have a problem with having people on stage. But the whole show was great. That one felt wonderful, like a real concert, just because I was so high up. And I could actually, kind of command everyone to, do a particular dance, or, move their hands or shake their bodies to a rhythm in the music, and everyone would just do it, and I was towering over it, I thought. And there was, the just the balcony area, just made it a very, very concert experience. The room was really wonderful and the sound was great. So that show was, I felt really good about that. I had a blast, especially because no sound problems, nothing got broken. I kicked my computer cord out once, and that was completely my fault, so it was nothing that was not at my hands. And a lot of times the shows get swallowed up to the point where I can't even interact with the audience at all, which is cool, again, that the energy goes there, kind of a bit like the Grog Shop show. But I like to have a balance between having everyone interacting with me and having the energy go crazy. But at the same time, I know there's people who come out not necessarily looking to party, and I like to interact with the crowd, people who don't want to get on stage. I like to, be able to show them, that I'm, not afraid to hang out with them and have a good time, and I'll get in the crowd and dance with everyone. So I think Columbus was a good example of somewhere where, it's going wild, but at the same time it wasn't too crazy. I could actually go and interact with people.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just, as an addendum, how did the cord come out? How did you fall on your computer?
So yeah, I haven't actually knocked out a cord from a computer myself. Well, I knocked them out all the time with my hands, because I'm just flailing about. But I haven't actually tipped a table over in a long time, which was almost a standard for me, I think, 2 years ago. That I used to always try to stand up on the table and balance and rock back and forth with the computer, almost challenging the audience to say, guess what, I'm going to kick the cord out and I don't care. And if you don't like it, I don't care. We're all going to get into this. This is not in control. Like, we're going to get out of control right now. I might step on my computer. The show could be over right now. And that's the way it is. I don't even try to play that out. I want it to be reality, that at any moment I could just break this computer and it's going to be over. And if that's it, that's it. I like to give off that sort of energy. So in Columbus, I think the table was long, and I don't even know why I wanted to get on the table, but I really felt the need to get up there for some reason. And as I started to get on it, I knew that, if I stood on one side, it would obviously tip over because, you know, it's a long table. But I have this almost mental battle with myself that people are thinking that, you know, if I don't get up there right now, then they're thinking, oh, he's, you know, worried this show's going to fall apart, and I want to actually, you know, I don't want to tip the table over, and it's kind of a battle in my mind. So at that point, I feel challenged by the audience enough so that I just had to do it, even though I knew there was a 90% chance it was just going to go over and the table was going to fall. But I like to just push it there, you know, and again to say this is not a DJ set. This is a rock and roll concert, and I happen to be playing a laptop. So, you know, I stood up on the table and I thought I was balancing good for a little bit. And yeah, I don't even remember how it went down exactly, but, you know, I definitely kicked the cord out a bit. But luckily, you know, the computer didn't go flying or get broken or anything. Then after that, I just couldn't find the cord, which I think worked well just for the dramatic effect that people thought the show was maybe over for a bit. So it was good. And then I think that was almost one of the best things in the show, that after I think the intensity was just on, that it was, I think that even made people feel more comfortable, that it's just like, wow, that guy totally just messed up and kicked his cord out, and he's an idiot, and I'm an idiot too, you know, I mess stuff up all the time. So I just like it to be on that very personal level. I'm, you know, not anyone, I'm you're me, you know, we're these people having a good time.
Cool, man. The only thing, if you can remember, was this is another one from the ride that we were watching. We would like to get a little cleaner too. Was just this realization that maybe like your act had actually got to where you had hoped it was gonna get. Like,
Right.
Can you describe that, like that?
Yeah. I think, you know, in my early shows, I've always wanted to project this, you know, a bit of a, you know, rock star edge for a laptop show. Partially because I think it's funny, and also because I think it's effective, that, you know, people see you having a great time, they're having a great time. But, you know, in the early days, especially when I'm open up for rock bands, no one cares about me. You know, you get up there in a flashy outfit, sunglasses on, and you have the 8:30 p.m. opening spot on a Wednesday night at a bar in, you know, Milwaukee. You know, I think it was always an effort to just go crazy, and people used to kind of describe the shows as, you know, the guy who's having a blast in his bedroom pretending he's rocking out to this audience going nuts for him. And people, you know, it's just this very pretend thing, you know, it's just this pretend rock star thing. And, you know, I did try to have a blast and always have a good time with it. So that's the reason I also, like I said, you know, I think if you put that out there, people are more likely to get into it. And the whole time did that for years, you know, 5 years, hoping that someone would jump up on stage and get into it. You know, occasionally people into it, but never, you know, a whole crowd getting into it. So it's just funny now that the album's kind of taken off a bit, that the stage show and the mentalities stayed the same, but now I'm doing it and it's a reality, you know. It's just I'm getting up there and going crazy and pretending like I'm king of the world, yet there's, you know, a sold out crowd there to say that I'm the king of this particular small world, you know, and people are just going to go nuts with me, and I'm not even the one going the craziest anymore. I'm like the subdued one compared to the audience. So it's definitely this kind of weird example where this pretend rock and roll fantasy world became a reality all of a sudden over the course of 6 years.
That was great. You can cut there.
So.
That's great.